There's nothing worse than feeling emotionally invested in a man and in the outcome of your relationship, and then to find that he doesn't text or call you back. The anger, the disbelief, and the pain you can feel when you're in this situation is horrible. Let me first assure you that you are not alone. You are not the only one experiencing this. So, what can you do if the guy you want isn't calling or texting you back? What can you do to help yourself in such a difficult and sometimes painful situation? First of all, you need to know that whether your situation progresses to a man committing to you or not depends on two things. One, the value that you bring to the table, and two, whether or not you are his one and only woman. Here's what you need to understand. When a man doesn't call or text, he can either be temporarily pulling away or permanently ghosting you. Ghosting refers to a person who ends a relationship with someone by suddenly withdrawing all communication without explanation. In my work, I see this happen to many women, but let me tell you with 100% certainty that a man will not ghost you if you were his one and only woman. He may pull away and stop texting you or calling you for a bit, but he would not, under any circumstances, ghost you because you would mean too much to him as his one and only type of woman. If you were not his one and only woman, then most likely you would fall into the category of one of many. This just means, as painful as it is, that maybe he was never that serious. Perhaps you guys never established a deep enough emotional connection in the first place. You may wonder, what would put a woman in the position as the one of many type of woman versus the one and only? Well, there are a few factors and we can talk about them later on. However, if you are a man's one and only woman, there's still a chance he will pull away. Married men who are in love can still pull away. Sometimes men pull away because even though they do love you, that's what they need to do as a man. See, men subconsciously know and feel that relationship and closeness with you doesn't make him more worthy as a provider. Relationships and emotional closeness can often feel more intuitive to us as women than it does for men. For men with a masculine core, it's more intuitive to move towards a feeling of emptiness, something that brings back the equilibrium in his masculine core. The masculine energy, which we all have within us, by the way, generally seeks to feel empty, whereas the feminine seeks to fill up. So if your man hasn't called you or texted you, it's important for you to not only remain high value, but to also get an idea of where he's at emotionally. Here are the 4 steps for you to take in order to stay high value when he doesn't call or text. 1. Start retreating to somewhere quiet and safe and feel everything. The first thing you must do before anything else is to get to an emotionally resourceful place. You see, what matters here is you. You need you. Your heart, body, and mind need you to be there for yourself. The first step to getting to a more emotionally resourceful place is to first cleanse yourself of emotions that you are not truly allowing yourself to feel. I want you to know that it is okay that you feel any of these things when a man pulls away, ghosts you, or becomes distant and cold, and maybe just goes quiet. It's okay to feel hurt, abandoned, terrified, anger beyond belief, abusive. Maybe you feel like screaming at the sky, which is actually not a bad idea. It's okay to feel hateful, jealous, obsessive, or like your heart is being smashed into a million pieces. You see, once you've spent hours, days, maybe weeks, just taking certainty in feeling everything and connecting to yourself in this way, you are able to ward off the stress and the tension you built up, and you'll be able to relax more into who you really are. A feminine soul who feels a little more balanced and at peace. Ultimately, what you are looking for when a man isn't in close contact with you is a feeling of safety and certainty. We need to meet that need for certainty for ourselves by getting you to retreat to somewhere safe and feel everything. Your feelings are your friend in this scenario. This will replace other so-called low-value behaviors for now. It will give you the strength and the base for building higher value within yourself. Empty yourself of residue feelings that never had a chance to get out so that you can be free to show up high value. You need to muster the courage to provide yourself a safe place to feel. It could be in a hot bath, it could be in your car, a hot shower, or a cold shower, which is, by the way, very good for removing your masks if you breathe through all the tension and relax your muscles. It could be in a dark, quiet room with a teddy even. It could be under the covers or with a trusted parent or family member. Whatever you need in order to feel. Okay, so step 2. Go back to a moment in your past where you felt infinitely beautiful. Think back to a moment where you felt infinitely beautiful. Maybe you were a little girl dancing around in the garden in a dress. Maybe someone you love embraced you lovingly and called you beautiful. Go to that memory and really visualize it and hold it close. Let the beauty and the freedom of this memory melt into every cell in your body, reminding you of your true worth and value. Let the memory nurture your heart. Let it touch the deepest place in your heart, the place you feel the deepest yearning for love and attachment. That beauty is who you truly are. You have plenty of radiant and alive energy to give to any man you wish. You may have just forgot that you had it. Every time you feel the fear and the tension of, where is he? Why isn't he calling? Why doesn't he do what he says he will? Go right back to the beauty and the aliveness that you were before you got hurt for the very first time in love. This is called internal resources. Why? Well, because in that place, you are not desperation. You are not dragged down by the burden of anxiety. Okay, step 3. Use strategies such as push and pull to test, calibrate, and rebuild attraction. So from this place of being in resourceful emotions, now it's important to do your best to figure out where he's at emotionally. The best way to do this is by using a strategy called push and pull. And what this achieves is that it helps you reach out to him in a high value way, but also it helps you test where he is at emotionally by the way he responds to you. In other words, it's a way for you to contact him without looking low value or desperate. I'll give you a quick example of what you could say. Do you know what I love about you? He replies, what? You say, absolutely nothing. And then you can start other threads of conversation after that. Of course, this has to be done in a playful way for it to have any effect. But what you're looking for here is to feel how he responds. Don't overthink it, just feel where he's at through the way he responds. This is really important. My man David would call this high value banter. You see, your ability to create this playful banter is going to help you not only show up in a high value way, but to test and calibrate yourself to where your man is at. Because here's the thing, when you become emotionally calibrated, then you'll have so much more clarity as to what steps to take moving forward. We talk a lot about push and pull and high value banter in our other videos and programs. So let's save that conversation for another time. Okay, let's move on to the last step. Step 4 of staying high value when he doesn't call or text. Step 4 is this. Identify whether you are the one and only or the one of many women in the eyes of this particular man. I believe there's nothing more important than this. You see, men subconsciously categorize the women they meet into 2 categories. The one and only type of woman or the one of many type of woman. How men treat the women in these 2 baskets is like night and day. Sometimes it can be difficult to accept, but if we were truly his one of many women, then it's going to be hard to get him to text or call for anything other than easy sex. And it's going to be hard to get him back again because the ship to being the one and only has kind of already sailed. If you are to be the one and only type of woman to men, then you need to do that earlier rather than later in the dating process. I know this may be hard to hear, but as painful as this can be for all of us women, I promise you that as you allow yourself to feel, you will rise above the pain and you'll come out the other side more ecstatic and free. So my question to you is, what does your gut instinct say? Do you feel like you are this man's one and only? Or are you more likely he's one of many? How committed is he to you emotionally? As a woman, you're naturally very intuitive and very smart. And if you don't let your thoughts and fears and justifications interfere, your gut intuition will tell you the truth. It's usually the first feeling that comes to you. And I believe your gut would know if you are his one and only. So if that was the case and you are the one and only, then all you need to do is feel through your emotions so that you can grieve. There's so much to grieve in this lifetime, even though we usually like to avoid that process. Okay, and then your job is to come out the other side of that grief and to start to appreciate yourself. Appreciate your body and your emotions for trying to protect you. And then, if you can, appreciate what this experience might have taught you, and then appreciate him for being a man. But what if you're the one of many? Well, your job will still be to feel and to grieve first and foremost. And when you've grieved the loss of the relationship that you hoped you might have with him, you can then appreciate that your experience with him will make you better at choosing what you do and don't want in future relationships. Ultimately, as corny as it sounds, everything is a learning experience. The only failure is when you stop learning. You might be wondering, if you're the one of many, should you still reach out to him? If you're the one of many, should you try to build some kind of attraction and connection? The answer is that you could, in theory, but you have a difficult job ahead of you, and it's very hard to change the basket you were subconsciously placed into. It's like the saying, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. It's not entirely true, but you get the idea. Men commit deeply to their one and only, and often give crumbs to their one of many. I wish it were different, but it's not. And so, to win this game of dating, it's important for you to know what it takes to inspire your chosen man to make you his one and only. This is why I put together my DVD titled Becoming His One and Only. Inside this DVD, I want to teach you in detail the 5 secrets to having your chosen man fall in love with you and beg you to be his one and only. By the way, this DVD is actually completely free right now. No strings attached. So do take this opportunity to get yourself a copy before it disappears. You can get yourself a copy at boodvd.com. That's BHOODVD.com. Again, this DVD won't cost you a thing, and it's my gift back to the community that has served me so much. Oh, if you don't have a DVD player, that's no problems at all. We've also got a high-definition online version of this too. Anyway, that's enough of me talking now. I hope this video has helped you in some way, and I can't wait to speak to you again very soon. Bye-bye. DVD titled Becoming His One and Only. Let's try that again, shall we? Becoming His One and Only. Oops. Again.